It's Monday, April 8th, 2019. It feels so much like the calm before the storm. It feels so much like 2007, but so much worse. And I'm going to tell you why. So why is it worse now than it was in 2007? In my opinion, there's multiple reasons why. Number one being that even though the media was corrupt back then, even though there was tons of propaganda taking place back then, and there always has been in the media, we are now witnessing a media that has a globalist agenda, a media that is willing to help bring America down. Another reason, we have such corruption in Washington, D.C. Yes, it existed before, but not to the level that we're witnessing now. We are finally finding out so many people in high-ranking law enforcement like the FBI, the CIA, high-ranking politicians. We're finding out that a lot of these people hate America. We found out that an attempted coup took place in America. We are now finding out some of the people, some of their names, some of the agencies who were involved in this corruption, and we're going to find out a lot more. More reasons. We have more debt than we had in 2007. We have a country more divided than 2007, a country more divided than probably since the Civil War. So these are multiple reasons why it is much worse today than it was in 2007. But we are seeing more warning signs, I believe, now than we saw back in 2007. There are so many warning signs, so many reasons that you should be aware and awake of what's happening and cautious that I think a lot of people were taken off guard and a lot of people were surprised in '08 when everything came crashing down. But there's no excuse not to know what's coming now, because every day we are being warned about this giant economic tsunami that is approaching America. And with the amount of people in alternative media who are trying to wake people up and warn you what is coming, there are no excuses not to be making preparations for the danger that is approaching. There was a story that came out on Wolf Street, good website, you can check that out. Very interesting article. This is about a $200 million commercial mortgage of an indoor shopping mall, over 1 million square feet, and this was in suburban Kansas City, Missouri. This building, this commercial building, generated a $149.7 million loss for commercial mortgage-backed investors. The loss percentage here was almost 75%, 74.9%, 75. So let's just say 75%. When the mall was sold in foreclosure, it was the largest loss ever incurred by a retail CMBS loan. Simon Properties Group owned this mall, and this is just another warning sign of what is happening in the economy right now. This company, they're the largest mall landlord in America. They could not pay the loan back at maturity, which was $200 million, so they just walked away knowing the mall was worth nothing near $200 million. The loan sold, or the mall sold in foreclosure for $60 or $61 million. So massive loss right there. And again, just the beginning. We are going to see so much vacant commercial real estate in America in the next couple years. Not only are we witnessing a housing bubble starting to leak, but we are witnessing the commercial real estate market we're starting to see more and more vacant commercial properties popping up all over the place. And I can tell you from being in San Bernardino County, being in Riverside County, they're popping up everywhere. I'm seeing retailers going out of business. I'm seeing commercial buildings everywhere vacant. And this is a major warning sign. if the economy was booming, we would see record-breaking retail numbers. We would see more commercial buildings going up, not going out. We would not be seeing the amount of vacancies that we're seeing. And this is in a so-called booming economy. This is in a good, flourishing time. We are going to really, in the next year or two, witness an apocalypse of commercial real estate vacancies here in the United States of America. Article on Zero Hedge today, U.S. factory orders slumped in February as stocks soared. Another example of just how detached Wall Street is from Main Street. And this is continuing to take place as we are approaching all-time highs on the stock market, yet we are seeing record-breaking numbers of vacant commercial real estate. We're seeing a retail apocalypse. We're seeing things happen in the auto sector, real estate sector. It's happening across the board, yet the stock market continues to go up. There was a little pullback today. I think Dow Jones was down about 83 points. Apparently there wasn't enough bad news to drive the market into the green today. But there is no end or shortage of bad news, I can tell you that. We talked about this on the past video. Manhattan home sales dropped to decade low for a first quarter. So even these luxury markets are getting hit. Another article today that came out on Zero Hedge, Vancouver home sales crashed by 46%, lowest since 1985. This is the lowest amount of sales in 33 years in Vancouver. Their condo inventory is up 94% from last year. And this just reinforces what we're hearing about the global slowdown. And Canada being our neighbors, this does affect real estate here in Southern California. It affects real estate all along the West Coast. Canadians come here, they spend a lot of time out of the year to get out of the winters up there. They come down here, so they're helping to support retail, the hospitality industry, the real estate industry, and we're going to see a lot of that money tightening up here in Southern California and on the West Coast. And I'm sure that a lot of the properties that we're seeing now on the markets here, they're not moving because we don't have that group coming up from up north, coming down here and buying vacation homes like they've been doing the last few years. So we're going to see more inventory coming onto our markets with less buyers because the Canadians are not coming down here and spending money like they were. They are going into their own recession right now. They're going to see a massive real estate crash up in Canada, and it's starting right now. Another article on Wolf Street, UK auto sales now down 15% in first quarter from 2 years ago, and diesel's death spiral. So they're not ordering trucks like they were. The auto industry is crashing in the UK. Again, global slowdown, and it is going to affect the entire world. Europe will affect us. We will affect Europe. What's happening in China affects us. What happens here is affecting China. It's all connected. So another difference from 2007 is we are witnessing today a global slowdown unlike any we have ever seen in history. So this is going to be a worldwide event taking place. So this is going to be much worse than the last recession that took place. This is going to be much, much worse. Another article on Zero Hedge today talking about auto sales. As we all know, auto sales have been getting a slam. The article here on Zero Hedge says the only thing really keeping auto sales afloat are rental companies. They're keeping the lights on at these dealerships. So rental companies are making up, I believe Ford and Nissan, 33% of their sales are going to these rental fleets. So not a very good sign, as the typical American buyer is not going out and buying new cars like they were. Let's see, another one on Zero Hedge. Strong job headlines hides broad-based weakness. March numbers were much better than February. They were up, but as we look closer, part-time jobs rose by 100,000. Full-time workers dropped by 190,000. 1/3 of the jobs were low-wage education and health workers. That made up for 70,000 of the new jobs created in March. Leisure and hospitality, hotel workers, waiters and bartenders, that was another 33,000 jobs. So when you take these low-wage education and healthcare workers, when you take in the leisure and hospitality, all the waiters and waitresses, people working at Starbucks, that literally is over 100,000 jobs right there. That's literally half of the new jobs that were created. And it's starting to look like half the country now is in the leisure and hospitality business. I cannot believe, and maybe you can verify this too, I cannot believe how many people are driving for Lyft and Uber, how many Lyft and Uber stickers I'm seeing on cars driving around. This is what people have to do now to pay their bills. This is what people are doing to make ends meet. They're taking on these low-paying jobs just to get by. And this is where America's going. Hospitality, leisure, low-wage education and healthcare jobs. I mean, is this really going to support the economy here? Is this really going to support the housing industry in America, the auto market in America, these kind of jobs? I don't think so. So I want to change gears here now, and I want to talk about the aspects of what is happening here in America socially. I want to talk about the dangers that are happening, the dangers that are alive and well right now here in America socially, and the dangers that are coming to America socially. This media continues with the lies and the propaganda against this president. Hollywood and these Hollywood elite continue to attack and demonize this president. As I've said many times, I believe we are now in a spiritual war of good versus evil. I believe that Hollywood, I believe that the liberal media, who are nothing but mere puppets for the globalists, I believe these people are controlled by Satan. I believe they are evil. I believe Hollywood is Satan's playground. I believe that these groups have major influences around the world and right here in America, and they're going to use every bit of their power, including Satan himself. They're going to use every bit of their power to destroy this president and to destroy America. I believe they're going to do everything they can to make sure that Donald Trump is not re-elected in 2020. And they're going to do everything in their power to make sure that happens. But unfortunately for them, I truly believe Donald Trump will be re-elected in 2020. I believe they will be defeated. And I believe they will be defeated in a landslide. I want to talk about why this is so dangerous. When Trump does win, as we saw back in 2016, the amount of protests, rioting, clashing with police, people shutting down freeways. Remember when Trump wanted to go and campaign in Chicago, he couldn't go because it was too dangerous. It was too dangerous for the Trump fans that were going to be there. That he decided not to go to Chicago because it would be too dangerous for people. And so now, after Trump puts 4 years in, after they've done everything in the media, after the Hollywood elite have done everything on their late night talk shows, on Saturday Night Live, in all the publications, after they've tarnished his reputation, demonized, assaulted him, verbally attacked him every which way, his family, people like Madonna threatening to blow up the White House, as you had people like Jussie Smollett, basically committing a false flag in Chicago and literally almost starting a civil war. Yet, all charges dropped, will face no prison, and walks away. So again, no accountability by the media for all the assaults, verbal assaults on him and his family, all the lies, everything they try to come up with, Russian collusion, the dossier, everything. And tomorrow it'll be another story. And they continue to lose. When Donald Trump is victorious again in 2020, and he will be, what are these liberals in the media, the Hollywood elite, and these crazy lunatic liberals on the streets going to do? Listen, Jewish people are walking away from the Democratic Party. Black people are waking up and walking away from the Democratic Party. And I don't know a Hispanic person that didn't vote for Donald Trump and who isn't going to vote for him again. And that's just reality. And most people don't want to admit that, but this is what's happening right now. Now, listen, I don't think the economy is great, and I don't agree with Trump, blowing the sitting there promoting that the economy is doing great. But I understand he doesn't want this thing to blow up in his lap. I understand that he is trying to get this economy ignited. He is trying to get jobs back in America. I understand he's trying everything he can to get this economy going. Yes, he's promoting it more than I would like him to do, but I don't know what he's really thinking. I don't know what he's planning on doing a year or two from now. He may blow this whole thing up and blame it on the Federal Reserve. He may be the one in power for the reset. We don't know what the plan is. So I'm not going to, just because I don't agree with certain things on Donald Trump, I'm not going to turn my back on him and not support him. All I know is Donald Trump, in my opinion, in my gut, is not here to tear America down, to destroy America like these Democrats. Everybody wants to attack Donald Trump, but why aren't you attacking these politicians who can't even allow us to build a wall to protect this country? Why don't you attack the politicians who keep allowing this invasion of illegal aliens to take place? Why don't you attack the politicians who believe it's okay to kill a baby after it's born? Why don't you attack those politicians who believe it's okay to kill a baby at 8 months, at 7 months, at 6 months? Why aren't you people attacking those politicians instead of Donald Trump? Why aren't you attacking those politicians who want to keep spending money on things we don't need, like spending $135 billion or $200 billion a year on illegal aliens? Why don't we ever see anybody attacking those politicians and calling them out, but yet we just continue to attack Donald Trump? Why aren't we attacking people in Hollywood who are protesting Georgia because Georgia's standing up against abortion? Why aren't we protesting those people who endorse the killing of babies, who endorse Satanism, who endorse pedophilia, who endorse drug use? Listen, they put this all in their movies, and you go and you pay $20 to go and support it. How about you stand up against Hollywood because they want your gun rights? But no, we'd rather attack Donald Trump, but yet Hollywood wants to disarm you, while these hypocrites sit behind 10-foot walls with guarded security with guns while they want to disarm you. But yet we continue to focus on Donald Trump, yet the real evil are the people judging him, chastising him, and attacking him. We have so much pedophilia taking place in Washington, D.C. We have the Clinton Foundation and all this corruption, yet we don't say anything about that. We had Fast and Furious. We had 4 people killed in Benghazi. We have Uranium One, yet nobody talks about Obama. Nobody talks about Hillary Clinton. All we do is focus on Donald Trump. People better wake up, okay? And you better focus on the real evil here. The real evil isn't Donald Trump. He's the only one standing up to it. This is why the globalists, this is why the media, and this is why Hollywood hates him. This is why these crazy, lunatic, democratic socialists like Chelsea Handler, who needed a psychiatrist because she could barely go to work after Donald Trump was elected because it affected her life so much. Okay, this is how deranged these people are, okay? This is how insane they are. This is how unbalanced they are. Yet we attack Donald Trump. We better start making sure we know who our enemies are, okay? And the enemy is not Donald Trump. The enemy is not the patriot of America. The enemy is the politicians in Washington. It's the people in Hollywood, and it's this prostitute media, the fake news, who keep brainwashing so many people every day. But yet the good news is people are waking up to Hollywood. They're waking up to the media. They're starting to tune out. They're starting to turn the channel. And this is why I believe America still has hope. This is why I believe Donald Trump will be reelected. This is why I believe we still have a chance. I do truly believe things are going to get much worse, financially and socially. I believe we are going to see serious violence coming to America. But if this is what it's going to take, I don't endorse it. I don't condone it. I hope it's avoidable. But if this is what it takes for America to regain control of its country, then the patriots of America, the people that love this country, are going to have to do what they have to do. And I'm not saying that's violence, but we're going to have to do what we have to do legally, and we're going to defend ourselves, whatever that takes. And we're going to do the right thing, and we're going to support the Constitution, we're going to support the president, and we're going to stand up for America. So I'm going to close this video out, and before I go, I want to make a couple quick points. When Donald Trump is elected in 2020, get ready to witness major meltdowns on the streets of America. Not just in the media, not just in Hollywood, but we are going to see massive people melting down on the streets. These people, as you know, the left can be very violent. We have domestic terrorist groups now in America like Antifa, and these people have no problem committing violence, burning buildings, burning cars, attacking people, clashing with police, shutting down freeways, and quite literally just being the terrorists that they are. You need to be prepared for upcoming civil unrest. This thing, you can tell, is just bubbling up and bubbling up. The left, the socialists, the globalists, the deep state, they have not defeated Donald Trump like they thought they were going to do. He is still here. They are beat up. They are in a corner. They know that Trump can release a lot of information. I believe that that day is coming. They know that their time is running out. They are going to be desperate. If they cannot beat him in 2020, all bets are off. We could see domestic terrorism take place. We could see false flags. We could see civil unrest. We could see things turn into a civil war, quite literally. Do not rule anything out. What does this mean? This means you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared to protect yourself, protect your family. And don't forget, it is quite possible that they bring this whole economy down and blame Trump. And that could happen before the elections. That could happen after the elections. Nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody can predict what day, what time any of this is going to happen. But knowing what we know and what we've seen the last couple years and what they're capable of with their hoaxes and their false flags, be prepared. Be prepared for civil unrest. Be prepared for violence, and be prepared financially. Make sure you're stacking some cash away. Make sure you have precious metals. Make sure all your preps are topped off. And again, I have to repeat this. Take every day as an opportunity to become a stronger, better, more awake person, to get your preps taken care of, to get your finances in order. Things can change in the blink of an eye, and we are witnessing so many warning signs, unlike any time in my life. So take heed, get ready. Things are going to get very, very crazy in America. Also, 2024 could quite possibly be the most dangerous time in America. Be ready, be prepared. God bless every one of you guys, and we'll talk very soon.